Married to a drug dealer. When I was with the drug dealer, when I met the drug dealer, I was on fire for the Lord. I was a Christian. I was happy. I was in church. I loved the Lord. I wanted to tell other people about the Lord. I quickly found out that people didn't want to hear about the Lord. I talked to the drug dealer and his family about heaven and hell. They didn't believe in heaven and hell. What? How can you not believe in heaven and hell? I grew up with the Bible. My mom loved Jesus, my dad. They always talked about heaven and hell. Heaven is our hope, knowing that this world is not the end. How can anybody not believe in heaven or hell? Now that I'm back serving the Lord, there's Christians who don't believe in heaven and hell. What is their hope? I don't know. My hope is that this is not the only world that we'll live in. That when this body dies, it's not the end. I'm not going to live in the grave and just not exist. To me, that would be living in hell here, knowing that. Some people don't believe in it. Read the Bible. Jesus, the Son of the Most High God, he spoke more about hell than he did heaven. When I first came back to the Lord, I wanted to hear. I wanted to know about this hell. I wanted to know the dangers of it. Why should we care? I wanted to know about heaven, so I started reading the Bible, and I read other books. I read this book, scared the tar out of me. It's by Mary Kay Baxter. It's a divine revelation of hell. Scared me. I was working at this convenience store, and my boss at the time was not a believer. And I kept trying to talk to her about the Lord, and she was having no part of it. But during the holidays, she asked me to work. It wasn't my schedule. Her people had called out, so she had to work or find somebody who would. And she begged me, she's like, please come and do all these hours. Work this weekend for me so I don't have to. I said, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll work all your shifts if you will read this book. Okay, I'll do it. I said, you promise? Absolutely, I promise. She wasn't a liar, so I knew she would. I gave her that book, A Divine Revelation of Hell. Scared me bad. She come back on Monday. She threw the book on the counter at me, and she said, don't you ever do that to me again. I knew she read it. I knew it scared the tar out of her. Did she find the Lord? Not the last I knew. She ended up leaving her husband and her children for a woman. Do what you want to do, but you left your children. Anywho, that book will stay with her for eternity. Hopefully, she'll come to the Lord one day because of it. I don't know. But I do want to tell you what Jesus said to give you some hope. The book of John, one of the Gospels. You should read it. Start with the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Just start there. They're easy. Chapter 14, verse 1 and down. Jesus speaking, the words are in red. Let not your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, you may also be. Look, saints, that's our hope. The things that we go through here is just for a little tiny bit, a vapor. Our hope is in the Lord. Our hope is making it to heaven. Let's get into the Word. Let's read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Learn. Learn about heaven. Learn about hell too. Be prepared to know about hell. That way when your family and your friends You could pray for them because you don't want them to go there. Be blessed, saints.